During the summer between my junior and senior years of high school, I had a job at the local cinema. I'm 26 years old now, and well on my way to other more important things in my life. But this is the first time I had told this story. Mind you, the theater was very small since it was located in the small town where I grew up, North English, Iowa. Population just over 1,000. This made things this made things easier for me, since one of the jobs I had to do was clean up the theaters after each film was over. Unlike some cinemas in larger areas that had upwards of 20 theaters, this one only had 5. The cinema was almost perfectly symmetrical once you give your ticket to the ticket taker. Other job I was given sometimes the concession stand if it's in front of you. There was a hallway to the left, which is the south hallway, and the other to the right, north hallway. The hallway to the left had 3 theaters. Once you walk down, the theater 1 is on your left, theater 2 is on your right, and theater 3 is straight ahead. The hallway to the right on the other hand just had 2 theaters, theater 4 on your left and theater 5 on your right. Instead of a third theater, which likely had ahead like the south hallway, there was nothing but a giant Pepsi advertisement poster stretching from the ceiling all the way to the floor. The advertisement looked like it had hung there for quite some time. The blue and red colors had typically faded, everything but just kind of that older for a lack of a better word. It looked like it was a blue poster dominated by a huge image of a bottle of Pepsi with the word Pepsi was on the top. The bottom had a slogan I had never seen anywhere else. Nothing else is a Pepsi. I never really thought much of it. It's a small town, and therefore, there aren't going to be a ton of moviegoers. So why deal with the upkeep costs of a 6th theater, when it probably won't turn any profit? I'm sure the owners of the theater had some economic reason behind the decision. One slow day at work, I was staring aimlessly at the poster, waiting for something to do, when I noticed a small budge on the right side of it. It was barely noticeable, something you almost had to be looking in order to see. But the first time since I started working at the theater, it crossed my mind. It had crossed my mind that something other than a blank wall may be in fact behind the poster. I went over and felt a small identification. And to my amazement, it felt like a doorknob. Not just any doorknob. The same type of doorknob on the doors to the other 5 theaters. I pulled back the poster to look behind it, and sure enough, there was a door. Tons of questions raced through my mind, but I eventually concluded that neglecting to use the theater was probably just an economic-based decision. As I figured, the door was locked, so I didn't get to see the inside. Still, my curiosity wouldn't go away. Why I had never heard of this. Why was the door covered with a poster? Did the door lead to a 6th theater? I decided to ask the owner, Kevin. Kevin was 12 years older than me, about 30 at the time, and also worked at the cinema when he was in high school. His father used to own the cinema, but had it passed down to Kevin once he graduated from college. Just the wall hastily when I asked what was behind the Pepsi poster. Kevin, I saw the door. He looked at me for a couple of seconds and let out a sigh. Okay, come here. Come over here. As he led me away from a crowd of people. You could never tell this story to any of our customers. Got it? Yeah, sure. Just tell me what happened, I said anxiously. He proceeded to tell me one of a particular night the weekend after Thanksgiving, when he was a senior in high school, Toy Story ad came out. A few weeks earlier, it was being shown at Theater 6 that night. Oddly enough, I had never seen Toy Story. I was 5, almost 6 when it came out. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person from my generation who never went to who never went go to see it. I was supposed to go one night with a group of friends from kindergarten and their parents, but I was sick with the flu and my parents wouldn't let me go. Anyway, something apparently went wrong that night. Kevin told me about the faces of the kids when they came out of the theater, when saying that they appeared to be somewhat of a trance-like state and were all white as ghosts. He also said that over some of the parents aren't making comments like, I thought it was supposed to be a kids movie, and other things saying along those lines. It was the last showing of the night in Theater 6. And a good thing that and the good thing it was some of the and the la it, and the and good thing it was the last showing of the night in Theater 6. And good thing it was. Some of the kids and parents had torn all the cotton out of some of the seats and throw things at the screen, damaging it. They closed the theater for the next few days since there was a lot of repairs had to be done for it had to be suitable for any other showing anytime soon. However, they never got around to fixing it. Decided to shut down the theater for good, given what happened in North English soon after. Over the next couple of weeks, Kevin told me there was a rash of child disappearances throughout the area. Their names and pictures were in the paper, and I just about to lost my lunch when I saw where they were, explained Kevin. I recognized pretty much of every kid's face, he said. They were the ones to come out of the theater that night. According to Kevin, none of the kids were ever found, dead or alive. Nice story, bro, I chuckled. Now tell me what really happened. Don't believe me? I don't blame you, said Kevin. But come take a look at this. He proceeded to take me to his office and pulled a web page on his computer. He showed me a picture of a young blonde girl with dark brown eyes. It's about upper military. He proceeded to take me to his office and pull up a web page. He showed me a picture of a young blonde with dark brown eyes, about elementary age. Under the picture, the page read, Karen Wilson, date of birth, August 11th, 1985, hometown, North English, Iowa. Last seen, November 29th, 1995. Status, still missing. This is the database I found online that tracks missing kids. Kevin told me as he showed me how he filtered the results on the site. North English for the town, 1995 for the year. He clicked the next button to reveal a picture of another blonde-haired girl, this one a little bit younger. Lai Hollinger, date of birth, February 1st, 1988, hometown, North English, Iowa. Last seen, November 29th, 1995. Status, still missing. When Kevin clicked the next button, I froze. This face I recognized. Kaylee Shaley, date of birth, March 8th, 1999. Hometown, North English, Iowa. Last seen, November 30th, 1995. Status, still missing. Kyle, who was one of the friends I was planning on seeing Toy Story with my parents, told me he had to move schools, and as a kindergartner at the time, I never second guessed anything they said. Then my stomach dropped. It finally hit me. Just an errand. Other because Toy Story and I also moved late. As Kevin's missing kids, 12 in total. Cherry Base, October 5th, 1989. Hometown, North English, Iowa. Last seen December 12th. Oh, 95. Status still missing. Justin Weber, date of birth 1939, hometown North English, Iowa. December 7th, 1995. Status still missing. Eric Wiley, date of birth April 3rd, 1999, hometown North English, Iowa. Last seen December 8th, 1995. Status still missing. Panic set in. Everything inside of me felt me cold. The hair was on my back stood up, and I ran out of the bathroom certain I was about to get sick. I ended up being able to calm myself, but I didn't sleep much for the next few nights. About a week later, I was going to get it out of my mind. It was a busy night at work, and it was the opening weekend for the 5th Harry Potter movie, and I decided that I was going to do it. I was going to enter Theater 6. They had a few extra workers staffed to clean up the theater after the last Harry Potter showing was over. But almost 5 minutes into the cleanup, I told them all to go home, that I had to take care of the rest. They all thanked me, packed up, and went home for the night. My night, however, was just beginning. Once I finished up cleaning Theater 2, where Harry Potter was being shown, I headed over toward the north hallway and stared down the Pepsi poster. After checking, nobody. After checking to make sure nobody else was in sight, I reached into my pocket to grab the paperclip. I bought. I brought the pick. I brought to pick the lock. Picking locks wasn't anything new to me. When you grow up in a small town like in North English, Iowa, you and your buddies are always looking to something to do, and well, I guess that's a story for a different time. After finishing around, it worked. Took a deep breath and turned the knob and opened the door. Other than was getting hit with a gust of cold air. The first thing I noticed was the smell. Instead of smelling like a weird mixture of popcorn and lemon scent cleaner like the other theaters, this one you have as you would expect, a dump, musty smell. Mice and rats had clearly been in the theater based on the smell, which grossed out me since people just across the hall watched movies, ate popcorn, drank soda every night. I was one of the people in charge of keeping the place clean. I thought, sure enough, the theater was a mess. The screen was still cracked from having assorted objects being thrown at it that night, just like Kevin had told me. As for the seats, they were still torn up. However, I couldn't tell the majority of them were destroyed by those moviegoers or by the mice and rats. I decided I still had goosebumps and was a little freaked out, but after some inspection of the theater, I didn't find anything overly terrifying. I decided to walk up to the top of the steps and check the control booth. It looked like just the other 5 control booths. Clearly, we didn't have renovations of them any since the mid-90s or before. As I always thought, the technology seemed to be a little outdated, and the theater was much pretty confirmed it. After looking around the cobwebbed sound and no choice, I noticed to my horror a roll of film labeled Toy